All right. All right, I'll admit it. Perhaps. Indeed. These are indeed troubling times. Because obviously this is troubling times. The only thinker that we happen to have in our entire little community of Last Light. But we're still alive. And I am torn between awe and triumph that we even still are kicking, to be completely honest, even though half of our village has burned to the ground. And you know, the other half, more like, well, actually an honest third of our village are currently injured and just staring into the distance. And then, you know, poor Raging Riptide here grew up just so that I could chuck them into the cold frozen ocean and tell them to start fishing. And over here, Makuna Bunny's doing their best to deal with frozen fish sticks for dinner. While down here we have Saffronique desperately trying to build some piers to extend our reach away from the snows so that we can finally start to get stone tools. Just as we finished making the tool maker, and now we can't even do anything with it. I can believe it, but boy is it ever painful, because to clear away the snow, 45 research. We only have one thinker to thunk. I'm staring into the distance, but we're still alive, somehow. But welcome back to Last Light, everyone, where we are going to be, once again, doing our best. And today our best is going to be getting food. A third of our village needs to be dedicated to that. A third dedicated, poor Hannah Forever and Aslan Rules, to the frostbite that has stunned them for another, many days. Like, how many more days are you guys going to be injured? Do you want to tell me, maybe? Because 9 isn't as bad as I thought, to be honest. It was 20, so all right. At least the hail is also going to end soon, but maybe it was a little protective. We do have a sickness event that we're going to have to deal with because these two have been so ill as well. But what are you going to do? You're just going to do your best, that's what. But yes, so welcome back. I know that I made it sound extremely dire circumstances just then, and perhaps one could argue the circumstances are indeed rather dire. Why are we holding so still, Captain? Oh my gosh, that made me like panic, because I was going to just say, even though circumstances seem so dire, we're still going to be able to make it, crew, and then everything slowed down. Scared the doodads out of me. But 8 more days of injury for those poor 2 villagers we have. And we're getting some raw fish, thankfully, from Raging Riptide. 1 more day before Saffronique finishes her project down there. And you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to dismantle these things right here, because we're going to get back some of our stone and we're going to get back some of our wood. We can't use either of these until we clear the snow away, and that's going to take forever. Even if we had like warmer weather, the snow doesn't clear itself away. At least that's not how it worked when we had the village of Are We There You, which thus far out of 5, 6, let's not count, villages is the only village that has made it this far so far. But every time we learn something. Now, don't we, crew? Like, we could probably end up pretty hungry if we aren't too careful. But okay, all we can do is carry on and try to get more food. If we could just get our fingers into the foothold of having a bit more food, and if we could just really get a handle on being able to have some thoughts to think, then we would be able to have progress to make all of this happen. I truly feel that. In my bones of bones, I feel that. So Saffronique, if you could go ahead and dismantle this, Treble Times is going to go ahead and he is going to build up the new stone hut. We'll get somebody gathering 1 more stone. Somebody else needs to start building another pier so we can have tools. And then I will yeet Treble Times up there to think about a fishing hut so we can get more fish faster. And we're gonna build the fisher hut up here on the pier so that we can get the full 3 fish every day that fisher will be able to scrounge up for us. Okay. See? We're gonna make something happen, at least. I wonder if I should plant some tomatoes. That's not a terrible idea, actually. It doesn't sound like a good one, but the thing is, okay, we have to wait till tomorrow to get fish, but we have berries at least. Thank goodness. It doesn't sound like a great idea to go ahead and plant tomatoes right now. And there's not really anywhere to do it because tomatoes grow best next to a water of a source. And I'm worried if I turn this into a mountain spring, does it still count as a stone gathering spot? I can't risk that. That's too many risky biscuits. Let's see. So next up, we have a Omen of Fear coming. I would prefer if that didn't happen. We have 6 more days on those two. A sickness event is going to happen tonight. We just can't do anything to not make that happen. So let's gather more. If I have more wood, we'll have that ready for the fish to be able to be burned. Got it. And then we'll also get ready to try to get the fishing hut up sooner than later. We need tools in order to have someone trained as a fisher, though. Oh, okay. So yes, it does seem like chaos, and I shall endeavor to use my storytelling powers to instead translate all of these numbers and all of this randomness into the tale of tales. The tale of woe? Okay. Poisoned. Got it. Absolutely just immediately destroying those things. Uh-huh. You could stop right there. Yes, that's all! That's all it is! Oh my gosh, I will so take that. Do not take my large study though. But destroying these things, no problem. I'm on it. I got this. We want that wood and that hemp back anyway. On it. Okay. So, like dismantle Saffronique if you don't mind. If you could just absolutely like get this dismantled right away, that'd be awesome. Meanwhile, we can finally cook some fish. Thank goodness. There you go, Makuna Bunny. And then Trouble Times, if you don't mind coming over, dismantle that thing up here. And then Rage and Riptide, you're still pulling in our raw fish. Okay. I can't believe that's all it was. We might have hope after all, my friends. Boy, we're not going to have a lot of resources going up or down right now. And I think now that I reflect on it, our meeting spot actually did get destroyed by the fire, so we don't have anything to gather hope with. Here's our Omen of Fear. Is it just gonna be a scream in the night? Because I'll take that. I will. Don't like doubt me. I will accept this. Oh, why is my only thinker stunned and a coward now? I feel like, oh, Trouble Times, hang in there. Now you're stunned for 3 days too? Wow. Captain? I see. We have been cursed. An omen is coming for us. Captain? I would have preferred if you hadn't done that, Captain. Because now I'm... Okay. Well, poisoned, injured, 4 more days on them, 3 more days on Trouble Times, and I'm kind of stuck in an infinite loop of gathering fish with these two. But you know what? If you inchworm your way to victory, you still have inchwormed your way to victory. Let no one tell you otherwise. Please be nice to each other. Like, you two are literally like some of the only villagers we have left. Yay, I think I think they are being nice to each other, at least telling jokes. Is that a hopeful thing? Yay! Saffronique, thank you! The village has gained 2 hope from a funny joke. I'll accept it. Oh my gosh, I thought Captain was about to run out with another omen, and I was just gonna need a little bit of a sit down for a second. And right now, to make sure nobody starves, we need to collect the berries, because we're still stuck in this eternal loop of just having to make sure that we're staving off starvation with a few blueberries. Frozen blueberries, at least. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure that my husband probably goes through like 2 farms worth of blueberries, like entire farms, a year. Because, boy, he loves blueberries. I should probably be eating more of them. I need to start making my gigantic super salads again. That would do it. All right, Trouble Times and Aslan Rules and Hannah Forever are all gonna be on their feet sooner than later. Oh, that makes me very happy. Okay, you know what else would make me happy? Making sure that we could start producing a little bit of health. So, let us make sure. Let's see, these things need +1 of hemp maker within 1, requires dwelling. We need a hemp maker, which would be our field collector. I'm gonna put it right over here. And then we need to put either a dwelling or remove this remedy rug because it needs a dwelling within 2. And that would count, any of this would count as 2. Wow, that covers a broader range than I thought. I mean, obviously if I counted, I'd see that's exactly the amount of space I would expect, but still. Okay. Everyone's gonna be back up on their feet just in time for us to face down the like flurries of winter, and also to have to accept that our thinking spots are not going to be giving us a lot, are they? Oh. That does indeed a bit of a sad Siri make. I think we're gonna need to use the last 3 planks we have to build a pier right here and right here so that we can have the thinking studies at max capacity, and then one right down here so that we can have the stonecutter's tools. That's gonna have to be how it is. Also, I wonder, with an omen of sickness coming, oh, I wish we could get more than just 1 health a day from that, because I don't think we can really fight back on this next omen of sickness either. Oh, Hannah, Aslan, I really hope that you two are going to be able to help me turn this around once you're back on your feet. Okay. We are going to need the tools. So if we spent 3 days... Okay, it's probably worth it to get something out of our studies here, even if it's not a lot with Trouble Times. And then we are gonna want to start working on maybe this wooden pier. I'm gonna start building this pier with Safranique so that we can hopefully have a new large study built over here, since they have to be close to town center. And that will be a brand new spot for Trouble Times to stand atop a rocking pier instead of the frozen snowy ground, and hopefully be able to start bringing a bit more hope into the village. Thank goodness they're going to be on their feet again. All right, come on, you two. Soon, at the edge of winter, perhaps, we will be welcoming in none other than our fisher. Oh, darn, a reckoning event. I would prefer if that was not the case. Yay, they're back on their feet! Yes! Oh, I'm so relieved. We're gonna have more people helping out in the village now. That's desperately needed at this point, if you haven't noticed. I mean, I could just... There's no way we can fight that reckoning event, so we're just gonna kind of roll with that. And otherwise, we have 2 pips available. Someone come down here and begin to gather stone, and someone else come up here, and we're gonna build 2 thinkers. It's not gonna be the fastest, it's not gonna be the easiest, but we're gonna make it happen. Because look at the pain of just having 1 thought a day. It's gonna be winter before we even can think about the fisher, let alone before we have the tools ready to train, hopefully, a fleet of fishers. I never thought I would so desperately... No, Captain. Oh my gosh. An unknown event is coming. The vision is confusing, but there is hope. Maybe the job as the elder is just to be quietly optimistic, even though in your gut you know? Let's see. So to get the meeting point, to get any hope from it at all, we need to be next to a dwelling. 1 more day there. I wonder if it's worth it to go ahead. I think it might be worth it to build the meeting point on top of this spot. And then the large study over here just to get us past this fear event. All right, well, let's see. There we go. We have our workers working, and then Aslan rules is gathering stone over here. Aslan, I'm gonna have you build the final wooden pier that we need. And then we're going to put the stone tools there. Okay. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of sickness that's looming and lurking right over our village. But nobody's stunned anymore. I'll accept a stunning if that's what we need to get through this sickness omen. And then the whole sickness reckoning. Phooey. I would prefer if that hadn't been trouble. Okay. Sickness threat permanently increased by 1. Trouble. I'm so sorry. Can you work while you're sick or no? I hate to ask that. I know it's a little bit of a cruel call. You cannot work while you're sick. Okay. That's all right. My only thinker, who I was about to try to build a glorious large study to so that we could try to, you know, be okay. That's fine. All right, let's try to write out this next hope event. That will surely turn things around, right? Right? Okay. I'm gonna need 2 people free to be able to sit at the meeting point for a couple days, just as we run out of people. That's all right. That's why this is a challenge. That's why we rise up again and again to tell the story of our doomed piplings. Because even though it may look so bleak, there is still a bit of hope. And maybe this hope event will actually be the thing that turns us around and is able to make it so that we're gonna be okay. Okay, and I'm actually gonna have Raging Riptide. This is gonna be dangerous because now we're just playing juggling blueberries. But I'm going to need you, Raging Riptide, to go ahead and help pick blueberries for a couple days, while Hannah Forever and Saffronique are going to have to stand on one of the 4 non-snowy spots of our entire village and have a nice conversation. And meanwhile, Aslan is almost done building this little pier, and right behind that pier will hopefully very soon come a brand new tool making spot. So we'll be even closer to hopefully being able to have our fisher. And I will once again kick myself in the rump lightly and go, this is why we're supposed to go ahead. Doink, doink. And this is why you should make sure you have a large store of food first. Even if your pips die off en masse, as long as you have food, you have a little bit of hope. I don't like that many of our pips coming together in a little circle around the sick person, please. Are you really gonna eat the poison food? Oh. Poison's deadly. I can't blame them for having a poor diet. We don't have, it's scurvy. It's scurvy. We don't happen to have any, wow. I mean, after all, we don't happen to have any convenient or even inconvenient, citrus oranges lying around to help prevent scurvy. So really, what did we expect, eh? Makuna Buddy. Would, I don't even know. Would you like to start digging graves? That sounds awful. It sounds really awful, actually. So, you know what? We're gonna have you maybe gather some wood. What would be the best source? This would actually give you wood and hemp back. That might be quite useful. Apparently the remedy rug we can't get rid of. That's probably a mistake. Oh, that's because it's outside of our territory. I see. Okay. Right. So, huh. Well, let's gather ourselves a little bit of wood, just in case we need to dig some new graves. but maybe we finally are going to have a glimmer of hope on the horizon. But until then, I told you guys it's important to have our wonderful, fantastic patrons who make all of these adventures possible and make it so that we can have my daily orange, which prevents scurvy, which prevents these situations. See, it was all meant for this and the whole time. The whole time. The patrons prevent scurvy. You heard it here first. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.